Shalom, everyone, and welcome back. Seems these days the catchword is science. Everything is science. Science tells us to wear masks. Science tells us to social distance ourselves. Science tells us when the virus is going to go away and how it's going to go away, and vaccines and all kinds of stuff. Everything today is science. Is there any place for religion in this equation? Well, the truth is that science is certainly very, very important. Science tells us how things work and exactly the way that things work. Certainly, science will tell us if your heart is not doing well and what you have to do to take care of your health and make sure you're healthy and well. And science tells the doctor how to operate and how to conduct himself. And science tells us about the world and the universe that we live in. And certainly, these things are extremely important. But religion tells us why things happen. Religion gives meaning to the science, gives meaning to the life. And that is extremely important. Certainly, science tells us that we have to quarantine ourselves and take care of ourselves inside of our homes, seemingly forever, and not have contact with the outside world in order to get rid of this virus. But religion tells us what to do when we're in that house. I know that when this virus started and people were confronted with the fact that I'm going to have to be in my house with my wife and my children and away from my job for an insurmountable amount of time, people really cringed. They panicked. What? How can I possibly be together with my wife 24 hours a day for 7 days a week? We'll drive each other crazy. We'll go crazy. We'll go nuts. There'll be divorces all over the place. But it hasn't worked out that way. In fact, it seems that husbands and wives are getting along better than ever. And if you think about it, here are two people who love each other very, very much, who care for each other enough to have gotten married with each other. We just celebrated our 44th engagement just a few days ago ourselves. To say we don't want to be together in the home, together with ourselves forever and ever. And how can we say such a thing like that? Of course we want to be together. 24 hours should not be enough time to be together with each other. There's so many things that we can do together that will be with together. Certainly, this is something we want. And children, I've heard people say, my children, they're going to drive me crazy and I'm going to drive them crazy until we get them out of the house and get them back to school again. How do you think that makes children feel? Knowing that they are not loved, that their parents don't want to spend time with them, that their parents don't care enough for them to do things together with them. How do you think children feel knowing that their parents want to get rid of them, that the parents want them to get out of the house and go away and go back to school or something like that? It makes children feel very bad. These are your children. How would you feel if you were married for 5 or 10 years and you didn't have any children? I know people like that. And to have a child, finally, after all that time, how would you feel? I think you'd want to be with that child forever, every single moment of every single day. There would not be enough time in the day that you would want to be with that child. Of course you want to be with that child. You love your children and you want to be with your children. And your job, a person could say, how can I be away from my job? I need my job so badly and I have to be there for my job. Is a job everything for you? Is that something that is really completely necessary for you to be with your job? I've never heard anybody say at the end of their life that they feel bad that they didn't spend enough time in the office. Of course not, because the office is not really the important part of life. It's not really the important part of who we really are. So really what this virus is teaching us so much is to value the things in life that are really, really important. In Judaism, we believe that not the synagogue is important, but the home is important. People were asking me very much, when are we going to open up the synagogue? I said, when it's safe to open up the synagogue. But the synagogue is not the important part of Judaism. The home is. We light Hanukkah candles and Shabbos candles in the home. We celebrate Pesach in the home. All the holidays, we put up a sukkah outside in our house. The home is the most important place of the entire Jewish life. It's centered around the home. The temple, the holy temple, the Beis Hamikdash was in the form of a home where it had bread on the table and it had lights in the menorah, and it had sacrifices which represented the food that is served in a home. And it was the home, it was the place. It was called Beis Hamikdash, the house of holiness. Beit, Beit Hamikdash, a house, a home. And in fact, the home, the temple, was the prototype of indeed a Jewish home. So let us appreciate in the time that we have left. Who knows how much longer this virus is going to last? But let's appreciate the home that we live in, and let's appreciate the children and the spouses that we have in the home, the activities that we do at home, the prayers that are offered, and the Shabbos that's observed in the home. I remember when this virus first started, I felt very weird having just Shabbos in the home, not going to synagogue, not having guests over, just us, just the immediate family. And to be honest with you, it was a very beautiful thing to do. The Pesach that we spent last Pesach, last Passover, was one of the most beautiful Passovers I ever had in my whole life. It was just us, just the immediate, small, short family that we have. No guests, no 200 people at a communal Seder, just us. And it was beautiful, it was meaningful, and it was really something that I'll remember forever and ever. So let's take advantage of the time we have at home, the relationships that we share with at home, and let us hope that this virus should be finished soon, but the lessons that it leaves us with should last a lifetime. Shalom, everyone. We have services every morning at the shul at 6:30. We're very careful to all wear masks and to social distance ourselves from each other. And at night, we are davening this week at 7:40 p.m. It's getting a little earlier each day. I'd like to remind you also that we give classes throughout the week. Sarah Leider gives many classes on Zoom and in person. I am giving a class every Thursday at 11 o'clock from 11 to 12 at the synagogue. It's being on Zoom as well as in person. We're again keeping precautions, and that is on the Rebbe Sichas. We hope you'll join us, and we hope that, God willing, everything should go well. And from this, we will see lots of children and have much nachas from all the children we do have. Shalom, and have a good week.